right? Kind of a Thelma and Louise, kind of like a thrill type of, you know what I mean? I'm going to play the clip.
Tonight, investigators are trying to solve two mysteries, one on the ground and one in the air.
Oh my God. What is happening right now?
How did an airline ramp worker commandeer a commercial aircraft, clear one of the country's busiest airports, and then fly for more than an hour before a fiery crash?
Very unusual. It's not like we get this every day.
Government officials familiar with the investigation say 29-year-old Richard Russell was at the controls, taking off from SeaTac Airport before 8 p.m. last night. Oh, he's rolling. Residents here, used to busy skies, were shocked by the turboprop's aerial acrobatics, but Russell seemed unfazed.
He just needs some help controlling his aircraft.
Very good. Nah, I mean, I don't need that much help. I played some video games before.
The 76-seat turboprop is owned by Horizon Air, part of Alaska Airlines. The company said Russell was a 3.5-year employee, was in uniform, and authorized to be in that part of the airport.
It is inside the security fence, and so no security violations were committed.
I got a lot of people that care about me, and it's going to disappoint them to hear that I did this. I would like to apologize to each and every one of them. Just a broken guy. Got a few screws loose, I guess.
He was followed by a pair of F-15s scrambled from Portland, Oregon. The plane was running low on fuel.
Hey, you think if I land this successfully, Alaska will give me a job as a pilot?
But the plane crashed on a small island about 30 miles from the airport. Aviation experts say getting a large plane like this in the air is no easy task.
Starting a turbine engine airplane is not like starting your car. It's a complex process.
Airline security expert Jeff Price says airlines might need to further restrict access to planes.
You just Googled that shit,
a procedure in place where
YouTube.
If you're not a pilot or flight attendant, you're not allowed on the plane unless there is someone there that is responsible for the aircraft.
Investigators are scouring that crash site for the cockpit recording device. They're trying to find out whether or not Richard Russell was talking to himself as well as air traffic control. They want to gain a better understanding of his mental state.
So a couple things, guys. In case you didn't pick up on this, Richard Russell was not a pilot.
Not a pilot.
Not a pilot.
No. Stole a plane.
Never had a lesson.
No.
Never had a lesson.
Not a single lesson.
Not a single lesson. Just all video game and flight simulator. It was his only training.
Look, Mom, just look what I can do.
And this dude was doing loop-de-loops.
Well, he wasn't worried about failing.
He was doing loop-de-loops.
I was freaking out when the F-15s. I'm like, what y'all gonna do? Shoot them out the sky?
Yes. Possibly, because the thing is...
So that he didn't hurt somebody else.
They was afraid that it would be a 9/11 type situation. They didn't know, because they didn't know what the guy's mind state was. They're like, okay, this guy just stole a plane. Is he going to try to crash into a busy building downtown somewhere?
Sure.
Yeah.
So they send out the F-15s in case they see that it's going that way. Then they shoot them down in a place that's less populated, that's more safe. So, but that ended up not being necessary, and he didn't want to hurt anybody. And he just seemed like a guy who was troubled and was trying to have some fun on his way out.
You think that he was...
He did.
You think that he just filled out the application and they denied him, so he was like, I'm just going to try to fly the plane, and if...
You mean as far as being a pilot?
Yeah.
He probably dreamed of being a pilot. I imagine that most people who work around planes kind of really wanted to be a pilot, and that's kind of like the closest they could get. You know what I mean? And it's like they didn't make it because it's not hard. I mean, it's hard. Not everybody gets to be a pilot. And not a lot of pilots. So I think they just kind of, okay, well, I can't be a pilot, so I'm going to work around planes,
Is it that hard? Because...
Well, on what level, depends on the level you're talking about. But
well, he got in there and he pressed go and he went.
Well, he did more than press go, and he did. But yeah, when you got to land and and not kill people, and the end goal is not to blow up, that makes it a lot more difficult.
Hey, I'm sure he couldn't just press off. That did not work.
Yeah, so that's crazy. This happened This was in Washington State.
That's crazy.
Out of Seattle, SeaTac.
That's unfortunate.
It is. It is unfortunate. At least no one else was harmed. It's too bad that.
Please don't let this be a trend.
I hope not. But
I'm mad that they are just now talking about having some type of security measure in place where if you're not supposed to be on the plane,
that's just the thing I don't
that doesn't make any fucking sense to me at all.
But he wasn't just anybody.
Well, I understand that, but he had no business to be inside the plane.
He had no business flying the plane.
But he had clearance to be.
He had clearance. He had credentials. He worked for the airline, and he did that. But because he decided to abuse his privilege does not mean that he was out of pocket. And this is the thing that I don't like that we do as a society. Whenever an accident happens or something, a tragedy happens,
we make a law.
Yes. And it's
Lord.
This is the thing.
You can't legislate common sense.
Human beings, for the most part, are a lot more decent than we give ourselves credit for.
I believe that's true.
Because there are billions of people on this planet. And if people wanted to do all kinds of crazy, foul things, anytime, I mean, it could just be chaos all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
It's
That's
actually
true.
Amazing the amount of things that don't happen.
That's true.
I'm with you. One guy in the history of aviation gets on a plane with bombs in his shoes, and now all of us have to take them off.
Right. And there's so many different, recently a police car, I think, was stolen and crashed or something like that. And you know how many police cars are left with just the keys in them or whatever? Because people what person is how often does that happen? It doesn't happen. Bulldozers and a lot of other heavy equipment that they use to do construction or whatever else out there and on the dividers and things. They've been building out there, around my house for years. And those things, I'm pretty sure the keys are in them. I'm pretty sure you can just climb up there. I mean, most people don't know how to drive them, and most people are in, but how many people actually get up there and steal one or joyride in one? They don't. They could, but they don't because they're not supposed to.
But how many people wear shoes? Everybody wears shoes. I don't think that it's a good idea if somebody has a bomb in their shoes to then make everybody take off their shoes because everybody wears shoes. And I don't think that this guy worked in air traffic control. So he didn't have he had no business actually boarding a plane. So I don't understand how they let him, who has no responsibility on a plane. That's what they said in the report, that he worked in air traffic control. He was 29.
I don't remember saying that. I remember saying talking about like they were trying to figure out if he was talking to air traffic control.
Yeah, they said.
But they said he was supposed to be where he was.
They said he was talking to air traffic control.
He was where he's supposed to be. It wasn't unusual to see him there. And again, like I take special privileges sometimes where I work, even though it might not have to do with my job, because I can go in a door that other people can't go in. I'll go in that door. It might be just to talk to somebody that's in that I work with, and I might be I get out of there, right? But like, it's not unusual that I'm there. But if I did something unusual while I was in there, then they would change the rules. Like, for example, I work at a retail store. That's one of my part-time jobs. I don't really have any need to be in the manager's office, but I can go in the manager's office, and they trust me. The safe is in the manager's office. But I could be I often take my lunch in there because our break table often has product on it because we just get so much product in this time of year. So I eat lunch in the manager's office. Now, the day I come in there and blow up the safe, they're going to change the rule that nobody's ever allowed in the manager's office. Exactly. Even though it's never happened at any other store at any other time.
Now, if he had some business on the plane, he fixed on the planes or whatever, then that I could understand. But if he had no business to be on the plane, then he shouldn't have been able to be in the place where that was happening. I don't think that's people who don't need access to it shouldn't be able to go there for this reason.
But again, we still don't really know what his job is. I mean, he could have been dropping something off for a friend. He could have there could be many reasons why he could have been going on the plane. And again, he also has the privilege because of the access that he has. Right. Nobody would ever think in a million years he was going to steal a plane.
No, who would steal a plane? You can't,
especially a commercial plane.
Oh my gosh.
Because I think again, also there's this notion of like not everybody can do that. It's not a simple thing. So why would they even consider? Like you're asking people to, like 9/11. You like who could have foresaw that would ever happen?
Right.
I mean, when you start to do it, like, well, of course the possibility of it's happened, but who would even put those things together?
Right. Right. And there's a possibility of so many things happening. If we start trying to live our lives,
somebody could drive a tank through this house right now.
Right.
It's possible.
Right. So are we supposed to should I build a concrete, wall surrounding this house or a moat that's, 6 feet wide? I mean, it's just ridiculous. You can't live life preparing for any wild improbability. It's just like you can't live that way. It's just ridiculous, and I hate that. And the other thing that we do is people, when these things happen, whatever. I haven't heard that in this story, but they start immediately looking for a scapegoat. Like, somebody's got to get fired. It's somebody's fault. Somebody's head's got to roll. Somebody's got to get fired. That's the other thing, and I can't stand that. But anyway, so in my to further my my assertion that this is a thing, our next story involves a pilot who crashed into his own home.
Oh.
Wow.
With his wife and kid in it.
That's cray-cray.
Chaos after the impact.
Oh, the whole house.
A home engulfed in flames after a small plane barreled into it. Investigators realized this was no accident. The pilot, Dwayne Yaud, was arrested for domestic assault hours before the crash and then released. He then flew the plane into his own home while his wife and a young child were inside.
We have one male deceased, but it could have been so much worse.
The early morning crash outside Salt Lake City captured on surveillance video.
We're on scene. The house is fully engulfed.
Yaud flew under power lines before clipping a garage and flying into his own home.
Our house just shook really loud.
Tonight, a troubling case of alleged domestic assault. And a miracle, 2 victims were able to walk away from this fiery crash. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
This is like North by Northwest.
Man.
The Alfred Hitchcock movie, and Jimmy Stewart is running from the plane that's coming towards him.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, come on, guys. If you got to do that, just, go have some pills and lay down. Like, really, just go gentle into the good night.
I wonder what that fight was like about.
Man.
And he went to jail, got out, like, I'm going to show that bitch.
Right.
She
said, I can't go where?
There was a history of, the police had been called at least one other time for domestic abuse. So... They apparently went somewhere to talk it over and had drinks and this and that, and then he ended up getting arrested for domestic violence, and he got out around midnight, asked for an officer to escort him to his home so he can get some things, some belongings in his truck. They did that. It happened. He went without incident, and a couple hours later, like 2:30 in the morning, he's flying the plane into the house.
Wow.
In Salt Lake City?
It's about 60 miles from Salt Lake City.
So Utah.
Utah.
So
yes.
We're talking about Caucasians.
Definitely. But do you guys think this guy was a good pilot?
I've been to Utah, trust me.
I saw the picture.
This guy, they said in another report that he was a good pilot.
No, he was a good pilot. He was a good pilot.
He was able to fly underneath the line.
Underneath the line.
Underneath the house.
Yeah.
His own house.
Target?
Yeah, he did. He almost flew through the damn front door.
Right.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's accurate.
And we don't know who the little boy is. We don't know if it's his boy or...
No, we don't know. We know they said it's the wife's son. They don't know if it's his or not.
I think that's the thing that shocked me the most about the story was that there was a child involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I can almost understand going after your wife. I don't know what is in between their relationship, but that's how relationships get.
I'm not saying you should have did it, but I understand.
To fly a plane into your house? Yeah, you did some shit.
I kind of get that part, but the kid, I'm like, oh, what the kid do?
Right. It's collateral damage.
Yeah, collateral damage.
That's a damn shame.
The whole family got to go. Got to go.
Gotta go. Bitch, you got to go. You got to go too. Fuck it.
Yep. Whew. All right, so...
what you got next? Somebody drive a train into a school?
No, we're going to lighten it up. Lighten it up now, finally. The Brady Bunch house. Got some updates on the Brady Bunch house. So remember a couple months ago, I told you guys, or maybe not a couple months ago, actually just a couple weeks ago, that the Brady Bunch house was on the market for, I think it was on the market for like 1.8 or something like that over in Studio City. There was a lot of interest. As you might have guessed, on the house, and it got into like a little bidding war between celebrities, regular people, companies. Yep. Amongst some of the celebrities included Lance Bass from NSYNC. Another celebrity was one of the twins. I forget his name. Jonathan Silver, I think I want to say his name is. I'm not for sure on that, but he's one of the twins that does Renos on HGTV.
Okay.
He was bidding for it. And it seemed like everyone had the same idea, or most of those people had the same idea. They all, Lance Bass and the HGTV guy, they both wanted to
flip it.
No.
Really?
No, they wanted to make the inside match the set of the